Hey everybody, it's Amy. You might have noticed my channel has changed a little because I am doing more on my channel than just VSG, and so anyway, in keeping with the new tradition, my new channel name is My Mommy Needs a Life. I do have a website by that same name, and I've had that for several years, and I'm revamping that as well. So it's time to change things around a little bit. Okay, so today's topic. Today I want to talk to you about my NCLEX experience. For those of you that do not know or have not seen a video before, I just recently graduated nursing school. My final exam was May 3rd. My graduation was, my pinning was May 13th, on the Friday the 13th. And my actual graduation was from college, with my associate's degree, was on Saturday, May 14th. So I live in Virginia. So in Virginia, you are allowed to, alright, first of all, our instructors were awesome. They told us to sign up and pay with the state board and Pearson View as soon as we possibly could, because then that kind of stuff was out of the way, and then all we have to do is send our transcripts, and then when they go over that, then we get that stuff. So basically right now I am in limbo. I have paid NCLEX, and I have paid the Pearson View, and now I am just waiting for them to check my transcripts. I've mailed them off, and I'm waiting for them to check them. And when they do that, then Pearson gets an email from the state board saying that I am verified, I'm checked out, I'm ready to test. Boards sends me a letter to practice. So for 90 days, I can practice as an RNA, which is a registered nurse applicant. In Virginia, you can do that. So I've had a job since January, but I don't start till July 11th. And it's a nursing job, so a registered nurse job. So I'm anxious, I'm excited. It is now May 8th, and no, wow, not May 8th. It's June 8th. It is now June 8th, and I'm still waiting for my transcripts to be checked. I mailed them off on the 18th of May. So it's really not been that long, but it's just like frustrating. Some of our classmates have gotten their letters and their dates are set. Mine's not set yet. But when I do get a date, I will not share it. I'm sorry. It's just too much pressure. Some people aren't even telling their families their date, because if you've never been through this NCLEX process or boards, it's pretty stressful. It's intimidating, it's exciting, but I don't want to, let me turn this around a little bit. I don't want to have the added pressure that if I go down there and take it 2 days later, everybody's like, oh, how'd you do? And if I don't pass, I don't want to be like, oh, I failed. It's just too much pressure. So I'm not telling a lot of people. I'm definitely not announcing it in public. So you can practice as an RNA for 90 days. Basically, the NCLEX gives you a letter to practice. You can practice for 90 days or until you take your NCLEX. If during that 90 days you take your NCLEX and you fail, you are no longer an RNA. Some places where I'm going to be working, for one, will put you down to a PCT or an NCP, nursing care partner. Basically the old version of a CNA. They'll put you down to that until you pass your NCLEX. I think you have to wait 45 days before you can take it again, so for a month and a half I would have to work as a PCT at least. In those 90 days, once you pass your test, if you take the test in those 90 days and you pass, then you just move on to RN, same as you've been. You're just registered nurse now. You're not a registered nurse applicant any longer. So, but you have to pass that test. And if you fail it, then they move you down. So the National Council gives you sends you this letter to practice for 90 days. Other states may be different. Then they send the information that you've been authorized to test to Pearson. Pearson then sends you an email that says, hey, you've been authorized to test. Here's the testing link or whatever and instructions, and then you follow the instructions, which I don't know what they are yet because I haven't got my letter yet. So it tells you to follow the instructions and sign up for your test. And then you just pick a date and time that is available in a place. Of course, you have to take what's available, and they do fill up quickly. So as of yesterday, the date that I wanted, day before yesterday technically now, the date and time that I wanted was still available, but that doesn't mean that it will continue to be. That's only because the person I knew that got their letter was actually, I was talking to her while she was looking up her date and registering, and she told me what dates and times were still available in June, and I told her the dates I was wanting to take, and that one was available. So in the location that I want to go to. So I'm hoping it's still available when I get my letter, but there's no guarantee. But at least it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. And so anyway, you get the email from them, you sign up to test. They recommend at least going to the facility that you're going to test before the date of your test so that you know where to go, you don't get lost. I'm going to go down and stay because all of our testing centers are at least a 2-hour drive. So I'm going to go and spend the night before, and then just test, that next day. That way I don't have to drive down there. I don't have to freak out that morning when I'm driving. What if traffic? What if I get behind a wreck and you can't get there on time? I know the lady in Kaplan said if you're more than a half an hour late, you will get the opportunity to do this again. You will get the opportunity to be late again because they will not let you in. So it's definitely not something that you want to be late for. I will, after I take my test and I get my results, I will announce when I took it. I will tape my finding out my results. I may or may not share it. If I pass, I'm definitely going to share it. I'll upload it right away. If I do not pass, it might be a couple of days before I upload it. But because none of you will actually know my date, you won't actually know that it's been a couple of days. So, but if I don't pass, it's going to take me a couple of days before I can face it. Makes me nervous just thinking about that. But I'm hoping that I pass. I don't plan on failing. I'm doing preparation. I'm studying. I studied probably 6 hours today, 5 or 6 hours today. I'm not really keeping track of the time as much as just I've got a schedule that I'm kind of trying to keep up with, and I'll show you that. I'm going to actually do another video right behind this one to show that separation, but everybody in our class that has wanted a job right away has gotten a job. I think our class, our school, is known in our area for being tough on us. Not that we know any more than anybody else, but our grade, we have to get an 82 on our tests in order to have the rest of your work, your projects and papers and stuff like that, to count your clinical paperwork and all that stuff. None of that even counts unless you have an 82 average of your test scores. And there's not a lot of schools that I've heard of around here that do that. Some of them are 78s. So that's a big point difference. But the people around here know how hard they are on us. And if you don't get through the program, then, it's not that you couldn't be a good nurse. It's just that people around here see that you come from this school and they like you. They want you because they know our teachers. They know how hard they are on us. They know that we have the attitude of, sure, you want me to do that? I've never done it before. If you're willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn. We all have that attitude from our class. So it's pretty awesome. I'm glad that I found them by accident, because I'm proud to say that I'm graduated from there. So anyway, I don't really give out the name of the school because, you know, I just don't want to give that out. But yeah, I'm really proud to have graduated from there. And when I go and take the NCLEX, I've heard a lot of people say if the computer cuts off at 75, you've probably passed. And I'm going to say something that I don't mean it to sound rude, and I'm not calling anybody stupid, because I don't call people stupid. I can call myself stupid, or I feel stupid, but I'm not going to call somebody else stupid. But I wanted to say this because it really does, a lot of people say if it cuts off at 75, you're good. Now, there are people that can cut off at 75 and they fail. But for me to do that, I think I would just have to not know anything. Because 60 of those 75 questions, or those first 75 questions, are actual NCLEX questions. The other 15 are, I can't remember what they call them, but they're questions that they put in to see how you answer and to see how many people answer them correctly, and to use later in another test down the road. So they're not actual questions that count against you of that first 75. Now 76 on are real questions, because those aren't, they're not in the minimum. In that minimum, 60 questions are real, 15 are for future test questions that they're testing out, but you don't know which is which. So, I mean, you just have to do your best. Now, for me to fail at 75, if it cuts off and it doesn't go to 76 and just goes blank, first of all, I'm going to freak out. Second of all, I'm going to hope that I passed and think maybe that I did, because I don't think I will fail at 75. If I fail, I think I'm going to keep going and maybe get the whole 265. But I don't think I will fail at 75. And the reason I don't think that I'll fail at 75 is because I think I know enough to, if it cuts off, that I will have done well. I think it's totally possible to do that and to fail. But I think that's more for people that get test anxiety and just flip out and like can't get anything right because they're just so anxious or upset or nervous or whatever about the test. Because I feel like I know some things. I don't feel like I'm going to get 100 and I'm going to get everything right, but I think if it cuts off at 75, I think I'll be okay. So I will do a video after the test. And I don't mean like maybe like immediately after, but maybe that night, or I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, because if I fail, I'll probably do them and then just put them together in one video, and then post it all at once for like immediately after or immediately before, and my experience, and then if I pass or fail with that at the end. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't even have a date yet. So anyway, I'm going to do another video after this. I'm going to actually do what I'm doing to prepare for the NCLEX. I have a lot of books that I'm using, some of which were not given, but we bought through our program, some of which I have purchased on my own. I'm not using all of them to prep because I can't read this much information in the however many weeks I have left. But I use them to look stuff up, and I use them throughout the program. So this might kind of sort of help too. But alright, I'll be back. I'll do another video. Anybody that's out there getting ready to do their NCLEX, good luck. Let us know how you did, because I like watching those videos. And we'll be back. See you guys soon. Bye. Hi, this is Amy from My Mommy Needs a Life. Yes, and I'm working on getting one. I am, oh.